All right. Okay. So welcome all. So before I start, just quick obeisance to Lord Ganesha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Hopefully, it'll be a fruitful session. Yeah. So before I start, I just want to say a few things. One is I'll be covering 10 charts. Yeah. Sorry, all those who are not talking, can you mute, please? Yeah. So I'm going to be covering the topic of restaurateurs. Yeah, restaurateurs. So basically, it's about people who have successfully opened restaurants and ran it for a number of years and made a success out of it. So I'll be covering 10 charts. And please hold questions till right at the end, or put it in the chat box. That's what I urge you all to do that. Yeah, because otherwise I will never finish. The other thing is that I'm cheating today. Yeah, I'm basically taking these charts from the book published by a fellow student of mine in another astrology group. His name is Dhruv Singh. Yeah, he's done a fantastic job of writing this book. It's available at Amazon.com. So please go and buy it. It's called Career Choices Explained Through Astrology. Very good book. It was published last year, and and he's covering some unique professions like internet stars, YouTube stars, and things like that, which you will not find anywhere. Yeah, and I'm also covering principles from another book called Astrology of Professions by Colonel A.K. Gore. Yeah, it's an old book. Yeah, it's an old book. And it's a very, very, very good book. Yeah. Okay. So so basically, I think before we start, I just want to say about this restaurant business. Yeah, restaurant business. It's a business that everybody likes to get into because they can cook, they want to get into it. But as always, casualty rate is very high. It's part of the SME, and I think in Malaysia they've done like a survey. SMEs about maybe 60% fail within 5 years. Yeah. And I myself know a lot of friends who have started restaurant businesses and they've barely survived for 2 years and then they've had to close up. So really, I think at the end of the day, a lot of things need to be considered. Yeah, okay, and it's really a very competitive business. Staffing issues are there, supply chain issues are there. It's hard work. Yeah, it's really hard work. You start in. Sorry, is there?
Yeah. Sorry, Chandra. Mr. Edwin has put a message that he's not getting audio. Anybody else having problem? If it's isolated, then I suggest he goes in and come back. Everybody else having audio? So that Mr. Edwin, I sent him a text asking to come out and go in. Huh? Yeah? Okay. Then the other thing, I just want to know who is 2525 ALPBY 107T. Because we take attendance. Who is that? Madam? Can you identify yourself, madam?
Can you unmute? Please unmute. Sorry, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm a new member. Just joined last month.
Okay.
No problem. I just wanted to know because we take attendance also. Okay.
My name. I came for the last AGM meeting. My code is because I'm studying ALP Astrology in advanced level. So the code written because every early morning I'm with the India classes.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Jana. Please proceed. Yeah. Jana, will you repeat the books? I want to write down career, the books, two books you referred.
Okay.
You want to send it to the group later also can.
Yeah, later also can. I'll do it later.
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
All right, it's okay. Yeah. So where was I? So basically, I thought I could do it the easy way just by taking Dhruv's book. Sorry, I'm cheating here, Dhruv, because I'm showing it without his permission. Anyway, I will be contacting him in the next few days. So I'll be telling him what I did. So basically, I thought that I could just take his book and then just present it here, but it wasn't as easy as that. Yeah, because I had to put them into a astrology software, and then I found that things were running out a bit because, so I don't know, like how he did some of the charts, yeah, and I don't know which software he used, yeah. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I've got 10 charts, yeah. So the thing is that, okay, this is just a bit of a background. I tried to do some research on the internet. A lot of information is out there, but no example charts, and it's very frustrating because I mean, I came across one site where the guy said you take Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, Jupiter for catering business or food, F&B, yeah. So basically, this is what we are talking about is really F&B, but really at the end of the day, that's not really helpful, yeah. So what we really want is example charts to see evidential proof. That is the test of the proof of the pudding. Yeah, we want to show that astrology really works, and in real life, we want to see charts showing how things work. Yeah, right. Okay. So that's one. And what I also found is that this is not in Bruce's book. I found that many of the restaurateurs are self-employed. Yeah. So this is where I used the principles in Colonel Gore's book, yeah, Astrology of Profession. Actually, there are a number of astrology books out there that deal with profession, yeah, and they're all pretty good, I should say. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe I'll just give a gist of the principles which we might look at when we go and look at the charts. Yeah, okay. All right. So first he talks about, in every chart, when you look at a chart, yeah, for self-employed people, this will include people who run their own restaurant businesses, yeah. Look at planets between the seventh house and the 12th house. 7th house and 12th house, yeah. So essentially, 10th house is in between 7 and 12. So we want to see what is the situation of planets between the 7 and the 12, yeah. And then, or, either or, yeah. We want to see planets between the 10th and the 3rd house. So essentially this will cover the lagna, yeah, the lagna. So basically what Colonel Gore is saying in his book is that you want a strong 10th house and you want a strong lagna. What happens here when you have a strong 10th house, strong lagna, is that you get people who are self-confident, people who are independent thinking, who are able to make tough decisions, yeah, and who are able to run their own businesses. So this is important. And he uses a word called tatkalika mitra. I mean, basically tatkali, tatkalitam, or how do you call it in Tamil? Tatkali is it's called temporary friendship. Yeah. So planets between 7 and 12 have a temporary friendship with the 10th house, and planets between 10th house and 3rd house have a temporary friendship with the first house, or first house lord, yeah. A very interesting concept, and you'll find that it really works in many charts, yeah. Okay. Then he talks about something called Purna Paramatma Paramatmamsa, yeah, Purna Paramatmamsa planets, yeah. So basically, these planets are the Sun, Moon, Mars, and Rahu. So if you notice Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, their dasa periods run in sequence, yeah, okay. So basically, again, these planets, yeah, Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, have to have some sort of a connection with the first house or the 10th house lord, yeah. Again, it makes people very independent thinking, very very competitive, able to take decisions, on their own, yeah, okay. I mean, as opposed to service, when you work for someone, it's like in bondage, yeah, where you take instructions from someone, yeah, okay, right? Unless you're really at the very high level in the service sector, say the CEO or the group CEO, yeah, where you will be making the decisions, yeah, okay, so that's a bit different. So there you have a very strong Saturn, strong 6th house, yeah, okay, because that's probably like an exception. And of course, you need Dana yogas, strong money giving yogas. That means you have to have connection between 2nd house, 5th house, 11th house, 9th house. Yeah. Basically, these are the wealth generating planetary laws. Yeah, okay, all right. And then you need something called Param Karam Stan, Paramakaram, okay, I suppose North Indians call it Param Karam, we will call it Param Karama Stan. In third house, you need a very strong third house. Why strong third house? Because third house really symbolizes courage, valor, initiative, self-reliance. So basically, you need a strong third house that has some sort of a connection again with ninth house, which is your Bhagyasthana, your luck house, and you need connection with your 10th house, which is your career. Yeah. So essentially, and he goes on actually, he says a few other things which I will not really cover, because he gives about 7 or 8 conditions, which is really necessary for a. So what I will do now is that I will go into the charts. So basically, we want to look out for these sort of things. In any self-employed sort of position. Okay, because they really do matter. Okay. So I'll now start sharing the charts. And let me know if you can see. So can you see a chart? Can you see a chart? Jay?
Yeah, can.
Yeah, can.
Okay, so this is basically from Jay Hora. Okay. All right. Like I said, it was tough because I don't know which software he used. Some of the lagnas were running a bit, but essentially most of the planetary degrees were about the same. So I thought maybe some of the divisional charts may run out a bit, but the D9 I think essentially should be quite safe. As you know that the moment the lagna runs, the other sub charts all start running as well. Yeah. So basically, this is a person called. So essentially, what you'll find is that it's essentially all Westerners. Yeah, there aren't really anybody local, because his database was drawn from Astro Data Bank. Yeah, Astro Data Bank, which is the premier data bank which everybody uses. I think even Saptarishi Astrology also have taken Astro Data Bank as their basis, because I'm doing a course there, which they use it in the Saptarishi database as well. You can draw out anything that you want, to do research. Yeah. Okay. So, the first chart that I'm showing is this guy called Louis Harry. It's, of course, it's the other way around. Louis is the surname, Harry is the first name. Harry Louis, yeah. Harry is the first name, Louis is the surname, yeah. Born in 1920, very old guy, doesn't live anymore, died in 2013 at the age of 93, yeah, he died at the age of 93, okay. So basically this guy was a Hollywood actor and a businessman, yeah. He acted in some movies in the 1950s, yeah. So together with his wife, they founded a popular chain of restaurants in the 1950s, yeah, which was called Hamburger Hamlet, yeah. They had a chain of 24 restaurants. Yeah, of course, it doesn't exist anymore. It's been sold. It became very successful, sold off. Yeah, okay. So essentially, basically, what we are going to do is this. Okay? I'm going to, the way Drew has done his research is that he's basically looked at each chart. He's looked at the static potential. Yeah, basically, that means he's looked for the promise of success in restaurant business. That's one. Then the other thing is that he has looked at the Dasa period, because at the end of the day, I think I've told you all before as well, it's what my Guruji says, planets say what, that means what you can get, planets say what, and Dasas say when. Okay, so Dasas are basically the activation of the planets, yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to look at the charts, and I'm going to basically run through and tell you when he opened the restaurant, the Dasa period. This is going to be the same style, for all the 10 charts. Yeah, okay. So basically, this guy called Harry Louis opened his first restaurant in 1950 in the Rahu Jupiter period. So we quickly go. So you can see in the Rahu force. You see, because it's taken from Astro Data Bank, we don't really have exact dates. So basically, we use that. So basically, it was in the Rahu and in the Jupiter period. Yeah. basically around here, 1948 to 1951, when he opened the restaurant. Yeah. So if we go back to his chart, okay, you can also see that. Yeah. Okay. So you'll see that. So Rahu basically, okay, let's mark for the people who. The thing with this J Hora is that it doesn't give. It doesn't give. Sorry, one second. Okay, so that's the Lagna, yeah, that's the Lagna. So that would be the first house, yeah. So sadly, J Hora doesn't number the charts, yeah. Okay, so anyway, so you can see where Rahu is seated. Rahu is seated basically there in the 10th house, yeah. Rahu is seated in the 10th house together with Mars. So what's actually happening? Let's have a look, yeah. So basically, let's see now. So Rahu will give the results of. So basically, wherever Rahu is seated, as you all know, Rahu doesn't own any house. So he will tend to give the results of whichever, the lord of whichever house that he's seated, yeah, in this case in the 10th house, yeah, and also the planets that he's associated with. So in this case here, it's going to be Mars, yeah, okay. So Rahu here will give the results of Venus. So where is Venus seated? Venus is seated in the 2nd house. You will notice, okay, I won't mention this, but you will notice essentially what is happening is that 2nd house, 2nd lord plays a major role. And why? Because 2nd house deals with eating habits, food, anything that deals with food. Our mouth is in the 2nd house, yeah, okay. So 2nd house plays a very major role, yeah, in these people who have successfully opened restaurants, yeah. And the connection between the 2nd house and the 10th house. So 10th house is of course career, yeah. So you'll invariably see a connection between 2nd house lord or 2nd house with 10th house lord and 10th house, yeah. Okay, in all these charts, yeah. Okay, all right. So basically Rahu, so Venus is placed in the 2nd house, as you can see there, and will give the results of, and will also give the results of Mars. Yeah, so Rahu will also give the results of Mars, which is so. So if we look at another concept, yeah. So basically, when you look at dasa periods, you take it from the lagna. That's one. You can take it from the moon. That means from the Chandra lagna. That's one. Or you can take it from dasa lagna. So we are talking about Rahu. Rahu is the dasa lord, yeah, and the 2nd house from Rahu is Mars. So again, you can see from dasa lagna, 2nd house is there, 2nd house lord is there, and from our Janma lagna, you can see in the 2nd house Venus is there, yeah, okay, all right, okay, Venus is placed in the 2nd house, yeah, okay, and Jupiter is the 3rd house lord from here, Jupiter. So why, remember I said 3rd house is also very important, and 3rd house lord is exalted in the 3rd house, yeah. So exaltation gives it power, yeah. It gives it a lot of strength, yeah. Okay. So Jupiter is the 3rd house, and then what is the connection with the 10th house? So Jupiter. So we can see that Venus is seated there. Yeah, Venus is seated there, and the connection with the 10th house is basically 10th house lord, yeah. From Lagna is also in the 2nd house. So who is the 10th house lord from Lagna? So Venus is also the 10th house lord, yeah. So that's why you see the connection between 2nd house and 10th house, yeah. Alright, okay. Alright. And then if you go to the D9, you'll see Venus is strong, Venus is in its own house, yeah. Venus is in its own house. And generally it's a strong Navamsa, yeah. You can see that Mercury is also strong, although it's not really connected. Yeah, Mercury is not really connected. Yeah, and you see Saturn also strong. Saturn actually is the significator of career, aspecting its own house. Yeah, although it may be seated in the 12th, it's aspecting its own house. Yeah, okay. And then you've got a very strong Gajakeshari yoga forming here in the D9. So these yogas are very important, although they are sitting in a subdivisional chart, but they are very important. Yeah, okay. So you can see that Venus and Mars are, and also, so really you can see that Venus and Mars are both strong, in this person's chart, Uh, so you can see that in the D9, Mercury is the second house lord. Again, Mercury is the road there. Mercury is also there in the second house there. So although I said just now Mercury is not relevant, but it is relevant in this sense. It is in the D9. It is part of the second house. So invariably, you see always a connection between 10 and 2. 10 and 2. Okay. In this person's chart, you're not really seeing the connection. You can see that between 10 and 3, this is 10, and this is 3 here, 3 there, 10 there, 3 there. You can only see 2, 4, 5 planets are there, which is not really, basically we're talking about 5 to 7 planets. Again, it talks about a strong, you can say Lagna is still strong. Okay. Even if you look at 7 to 12, 12 is there, 7 is there, 7 is there. You see 1, 3, 5 planets again, between 7 to 12, giving strength to the 10th house, giving strength to the 10th house there. Are you all okay without the chart numbering? Unfortunately, there's no numbers to charts. Is that okay?
Okay.
I just marked the Lagna and then you can see from there. Okay. Alright. So again, what else can you see here? You can also see connection, Dana Yoga connections. That means connection between second house, 5th house, 9th house, second house, 5th house, 9th house, and what else? 11th house, you can see, because here Venus is 2nd and 10th lord in the 2nd house, Mercury is 6th and 9th lord in the 2nd house, okay. And then Mars is basically the 6th and 11th house lord, okay. I don't think you can see a connection there, alright. Okay, so that's one chart, okay, alright. So that's Louis Harry. Let's look at the next chart. So there's another guy called Arthur Crows. Arthur Crows. So who is Arthur Crows? Okay. I'm sure all these are very strange names to you. Okay, this guy lived from 1957 to 2009. Okay, so 1 second. Okay. He was basically an entrepreneur, restaurateur. He co-founded a restaurant called Boston Market. This is in the US. And it became a very big chain. Boston Market. It was in 1985 when he first opened this restaurant. In 1993, they went public, and he and his partner became major shareholders. Sorry. Go back. Sorry, this is go back to this. Okay, so this is the chart of this next person, Arthur Crows. Ran a very successful business. Very successful business. Just have a quick look at his chart. You can see that between 10 and 3. So that's Lagna. Lagna is there. Lagna is there. Okay. So you can see that between 10 and 3, there are actually 7 planets here. Between 10 and 3, there are actually 7 planets. Okay, yeah. So we start with here, 10, and we go all the way to there, 3. You'll see that it's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 planets. So it makes this Lagna very strong. Yeah, there's actually a relationship between here. Yeah, I mean you can also call it a. I mean there's also another thing called the Yoga Malika. Yoga Malika. Yeah, okay. That means it's a consecutive number of planets, but of course we say that you need 7. You need 7 houses. Yeah, for all the planets to occupy. But okay, fine. I mean. Some of the authors say 5 to 7, yeah, okay, so literally here we've got 5 planets, yeah, 5 houses being involved, yeah, okay. So it adds a lot of strength to the Lagna. Even if you look at it from 7 to 12, 7 is there, 7 to 12 there, yeah, you see that he's got 1, 2, 5, 6 planets there. So you can see the strength that's going into the Lagna and also the 10th house lord. Yeah. Okay, right? Okay. And then you can also see third house connection with 9 and 10. So the third house here is basically Jupiter. Yeah. Yeah. So the third house from here is Jupiter. Jupiter is connected to the 9th house. Jupiter or Mars, I think in this case here, because Mars is the significator for third house. Yeah. So Mars is connected to Venus and Mercury. Yeah. Mercury is the 9th house lord. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So there's that connection there too. You won't really see sometimes the full connection, but really at the end of the day, basically what I'm trying to say is that there is strength. Yeah, there is strength to indicate that this person is a self-driven person. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's look at the Dasa periods. Yeah. Okay. So basically, he opened his restaurant in December 1985. So Dasa periods. Yeah. So he opened his restaurant in December 1985. So it was the Jupiter Dasa. Yeah. 1985 falls here. Yeah. Falls here. Jupiter Moon period. Yeah. And Moon is there. So 1985. So it's between 1984 to 86 where he opened this restaurant. So yeah. So basically, you'll see now that sometimes you can't see from Lagna Lord, so you go to Moon. Yeah. So basically, from Moon, you see that Jupiter is the second lord. Yeah. Jupiter is the second lord from Moon, and from Lagna, Jupiter is the third lord. Yeah. Third lord from Lagna. Yeah, okay. And Moon is the 10th lord. Yeah. Moon is the lord of the 10th house. Yeah. Yeah. So that gives the 210 connection again. Yeah. Alright, okay. Yeah. So Moon, 10th lord, and Mars, the second lord, are in mutual aspect. Yeah, okay. So here we see Moon, 10th lord, yeah, the 10th house lord. Who's the 10th house lord? Yeah, from Moon, the 10th house lord is actually Venus. Yeah, Moon, Venus. Yeah, and Mars, the second house lord, are all in mutual aspect. Yeah, okay. And then we can also go to Dasa Lagna. Yeah, we go to Dasa Lagna, which is Jupiter. Jupiter's 10th house is there. Yeah, Jupiter is the Dasa Lagna lord. Yeah. So the second house lord from Jupiter is Venus. Yeah, Venus is the second lord, and the 10th lord is Mercury there. So again, you see 210 connection there. Yeah, 210 connection. Yeah. If I use the Dasa Lagna Jupiter. Yeah. Okay. And then if you go to D9, D9 we have Dasa there. The Lagna there, and the second lord is again Mars, yeah, aspecting the 10th house from, yeah, Mars aspecting the 10th house. From there, Mars is aspecting the 10th house. So again, you'll see a repetition of this second house lord or house connecting with the 10th house lord here. Okay, all right. Mind you, these are all based purely on Astrodata Bank here, purely on Astrodata Bank. So, and of course Wikipedia. So there's a lot of work involved here for Drew when he wrote this book. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the third chart. Yeah. Okay. Foreigner, Westerner. I think this guy is French. You invariably see a lot of French people here. Okay, all right. So you see, so this guy's name is Cyril Lignac. Sorry, pronunciation is out of it. Okay, so it's basically a French chef. Yeah, French chef and businessman. Yeah, and he opened a number of restaurants. Yeah, he was also a TV presenter on culinary programs. Yeah, yeah. And he opened his restaurant in 2005. Yeah. He opened his restaurant. Oh, I need to go back again. Forgot to. Sorry about this. Okay, so this guy, okay, Panir, is that you doing it?
Yes, you can focus on explaining. I'll do it for you.
Okay, alright, okay. So basically that's the Lagna, yeah, alright, that's the Lagna there, yeah, so Simha Lagna, alright, okay. So basically he opened his restaurant in 2005. Okay, before I go there, let's have a quick look at his chart, yeah, let's look at his chart, yeah. You'll see that between 10 and 3, the 10th house and the 3rd house, so the 10th house would be there, yeah, and the 3rd house is there. You'll see a conglomeration of planets here. 10, so giving strength to the Lagna, you see 1, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 8 planets. 8 planets all surrounding the Lagna. Gives a lot of strength to the Lagna, yeah. Gives a lot of strength to the Lagna. Makes these people very driven, you know, to become successful in their businesses, yeah. So he opened his restaurant in the Venus. Okay, we don't know which period. We only know that he opened the restaurant in 2005. Yeah. So 2005 ends in June. Sun period also begins July, and Sun period begins in July. So we think it's either Venus or Sun period he opened the planet. Yeah. But anyway, not to worry. Yeah. Okay. So so the thing is that so both Venus and Sun are in the 3rd house from Lagna. Yeah, are both in the 3rd house from Lagna. Yeah. With Mercury, who is the 2nd and 11th house lord. Yeah. So Venus, as you can see, so again you see Venus 2nd house lord there. Mercury 2nd house lord. Venus is the 10th house lord, yeah, 10, 11, 12. So Venus is so again you see 2-10 connection there, yeah, alright, okay. So Venus, so if you go to the D9, you'll see that Venus is very strong in its own house, yeah. Here also, in fact, it's Vargotama, yeah, okay. Venus is in its own house here, right? And Mercury also in own house, yeah, okay. So if you look at it from Dasa Lagna, so Dasa Lagna is Venus, yeah, okay. Alright, Venus. There is again a 2-10 connection, yeah. So we take Dasa Lagna, Venus, yeah, we take Dasa Lagna, Mars. Mars is the 2nd house lord. Mars is 2nd house lord. And from Dasa Lagna, Venus, this becomes the 10th house. So Mars is there, 2nd lord with 10th house lord. Yeah, Moon is the 10th house lord. So again, you see 2-10 connection playing up. So incidentally, this person, he won some awards, Michelin Star Awards, for his restaurant. Yeah, as you know, Michelin Star Awards are given to restaurants with the best that serve the best food. Yeah, I mean for culinary expertise. Yeah, okay, it's a sort of a annual rating that's that stars that restaurants are given. And and to get that, it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy because I think there are about 4 or 5 criteria that are used to judge how good the restaurant is. Yes, and it's an annual award, so which means that you don't keep the star all the time. The Michelin stars are not there. It's not a permanent thing. Okay, all right. So let's look at the next chart, the fourth chart. This guy is very famous. He's known as Gordon Ramsay. I don't know. I mean, okay, in all these charts that I'm talking about, he's the only guy from the English-speaking world. He's British, yeah. And I'm sure, I think we have seen a lot of his programs here in Malaysia as well. Yeah, Hell's Kitchen, numerous other programs. Yeah, you would have seen. So yeah, so very famous. I think at one stage he had something like 17 Michelin stars. Yeah. 17 Michelin stars. I think he holds less than 10 now. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, it's an annual thing. Yeah. So it just goes to show how good he and his restaurants are. Actually, what is it? I mean, briefly enough, he's a British celebrity chef. He's a restaurateur, of course. Yeah. TV presenter, writer. Yeah. Okay. He's got his restaurants are in a very posh area of London called Chelsea, yeah, and it's called Gordon Ramsay Restaurants. They're founded in 1997, yeah, okay. So he opened his first restaurant in let's look at his chart, yeah. Let's look at his chart. You will, I think you will not see that cluster here, yeah, you will not see that cluster here, yeah, okay. That's from 10 to 3. There's only 3 planets, yeah. And then from 7 to 12, oh, okay, all right, 7 to 12, you'll see about, 7 to 12, sorry, I'm looking at that also. 7 to 12 also, you will just see about 2 planets, that's all. Yeah. So it doesn't really apply to everybody all the time, yeah, okay, but just look at his chart itself, yeah, okay, you can see a very strong 5th house there, yeah, very strong 5th house. You can see a debilitated sun, but it's cancelled, there's Nietzsche Banga there, exalted Jupiter. It's amazing, this guy has got a 10th house lord that's exalted there, and the Jupiter is looking back into the 10th house, so you can see how much of strength his 10th house has got there, yeah, okay, yeah. Alright, so what else can we see in this chart? Yeah, you can also see that his D9 is equally strong. Yeah, he's got an exalted sun there, sitting there, exalted sun. He's got an exalted Mercury sitting there. Yeah. So if we go into the details of his chart, yeah, okay. So he opened the restaurant in his Rahu Mercury period, yeah, 1998, which falls here, yeah, Rahu Mercury, and Mercury would be there. 1998, he opened, yeah, his restaurant, yeah. So Rahu here, Rahu is the Dasa Lord, yeah. Rahu here will give the results of Venus, essentially, yeah. So okay, one other thing, Rahu is also in the Venus Nakshatra, yeah, here, yeah, okay, Bharani, yeah. Okay. So basically in his chart, Drew was saying that the best way to explain the timing in his chart is to look at it from Chandra Lagna. So we look at moon, yeah, Chandra Lagna. So Venus is there in the 2nd house, yeah, Venus is there in the 2nd house, right? Okay, sitting with the 3rd house lord, yeah, debilitated, but like I said, Nietzsche Banga, yeah, alright, okay, alright, okay. And then yeah, so Mercury falls in the 3rd house from Moon. So again, adding strength, 3rd house, we need a good strong 3rd house. Mercury is strong here in Navamsa. Mercury sitting in its own house. Yeah, Mercury sitting in its own house. Yeah. Jupiter is the 10th Lord exalted. Yeah, in the second house. Yeah. So from Lagna, Jupiter is in the second house. 10th house connection is there. Yeah. 10th house connection is there. Yeah. So I was going to say Rahu. So 10th house is from Rahu. 10th house Lord is Mars. Mars. Yeah. Is Saturn. Yeah. So is there a Saturn connection? 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10th house Lord is expecting third house. Yes, the third house is expecting here, yeah, Mercury here, who is in the third house from Moon, yeah. Okay. So essentially you'll see the 210 connection, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at, yeah, okay, all right. Okay, there's another way of looking at it as well. Rahu, yeah, Rahu. If we take Rahu, yeah, Rahu also gives the results of Mars. Rahu also gives the results of Mars, yeah. Yeah. Who is in? So Rahu is in Venus, etc. Second house Lord from Dasa Lagna is this, yeah, second house Lord from Dasa Lagna, yeah. Alright, who is Venus here. So Rahu is in Venus Nakshatra, and Venus is in the second house from the Moon Nakshatra, yeah. Okay. So essentially that, yeah, you can always see a 210 connection there, yeah, and then like I said, you will also see a very strong 310 connection as well, 310. So who's the third lord? For him, third lord is Mars, yeah. The third house is really, Mars is in the third house, so that gives that Mars is expecting the 10th house. That's the 7th from there, and that is the 8th aspect, that's the 10th aspect. Yeah. So really it's either third house or third house lord or the significator of the third house. So all this, what it all adds up to is, it adds up to people who have the strength and ability to make the decisions, yeah, make independent decisions, yeah, okay, in a very, very competitive industry. So really what I'm trying to get at is that when you're trying to advise people who want to get into the F&B business, so really at the end of the day, you need second house to be strong, second house Lord to be strong, 10th house Lord, 10th house needs to be strong. Preferably there has to be a third house Lord or Mars connection with the 9 and 10. Yeah. So all this adds up. So basically, this is the promise. This is the promise that is given to you in your birth chart. And of course, then you have to wait for the Dasa periods to come, yeah, for the fulfillment of your desires, of your success. Yeah, all right. So basically that.
Chandra, I just want to add.
Yeah.
You see, you mentioned about strong Dhanaloga. He's 2, 5, 9, and 11. So all very
all
well.
are connected. Yeah, they're all connected. Sorry, I didn't mention that point. Yeah, I'm fighting time.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, all these charts, literally all these charts, you will have a connection between 2, 5, 9, 11. Yeah. So Dana Yoga has to be strong. I mean, as you all know, when you are in bondage or service, you are basically given a salary, and that's it. Yeah, and that's it. You work with whatever salary that you're given. But when you are in self-employment, yeah, you can see that there will be strong Dana Yogas, because that means that it is fully in your hands. Everything is in your hands. Yeah, you make the decisions. You have to go with it, gain or loss. You have to go with it. Yeah. So, but the Dana Yogas, strong Dana Yogas means that you will make it. Yeah. Okay. The rewards will come. Right. Okay. So let's look at the next chart. Yeah. Which which is done Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay is probably the most famous of this all these guys, yeah, okay, I mean, because the others are all in the French-speaking world, yeah, okay, all right, or the American world, which we are not really exposed to, yeah, okay, all right. Okay, so yeah, Lagna is in the wrong place. Okay, sorry. I think so Lagna is there, yeah. You can see ascendant, yeah. It's basically so again, let's look at this guy's chart, yeah. Okay, basically, who is he? He's basically an American celebrity chef, yeah. He's written numerous cookbooks. He's opened a number of restaurants, yeah. Okay, so this is his background, yeah. Okay, so basically, let's look at the strength of his chart, yeah. Okay, let's look at the strength of the chart, yeah. So 7 to 12, yeah, 7 to 12, yeah. So basically, that's 7 up to that 12. So you'll see 2, 4, 6 planets are there. Yeah, 7 to 12. Why did I say 7 there? So 7 to 12. 7 to 12, yeah. You essentially see six planets, yeah. Alright, yeah. So that gives a lot of strength to the 10th house, yeah. To the 10th house. Okay. So 10 to 3, okay, now really very. Again, you'll see very strong Dan Yoga connections. Yeah, okay, you'll see very strong Dan Yoga. So where are the strong? So basically, you see an exalted Venus. You see exalted Venus, debilitated Mercury, but of course it's Nicha Bhanga. Yeah, Nicha Bhanga sitting in the 9th house. So cancellation, but no Raj Yoga. Okay, sitting with the second lord. Yeah, okay. So you'll see a 2-11 connection. Sun is the second. Mercury, Mercury is, Sun is the second house lord, Mercury is the 4th and 11th lord, yeah, okay, alright. So 2-11 connection. Aspecting Jupiter, mutual aspect of Jupiter, yeah, and Jupiter is the 6th and 9th lord, yeah, 6th and 9th lord. So you can see there is this strong 2, 9, 11 and 5. So where's the 5 coming from? 5 is really 5 is Mars, yeah, 5 is Mars. That is connecting with the second house. That is connecting with the second house, yeah, alright, okay. And also aspecting the 5th house, yeah, its own house, yeah, Mars aspecting its own house. So you see strong Dan Yoga as well. And then you can also see 3rd Lord Mercury. Mercury is the 3rd Lord in the 9th house, yeah, and getting the aspect of the 9th Lord. So again, there is like a 3-9 connection, okay, yeah, heading to this guy's independent, independent way of thinking. Basically, you are self-employed, you have to think that way. So let's look at the Dasa period, yeah, okay. So what we are saying is that in the Jupiter-Sun period, where you open this restaurant, yeah, Jupiter-Sun. So Jupiter, that was in 1994. So it comes there, Jupiter and Sun, yeah, there. So you open this restaurant somewhere there, yeah. So sometimes you just have to, guess luck, especially when you're doing, something, taking data from, like astro data, when precise dates are not there, yeah. Okay. So basically, if you look at Jupiter, yeah. So Jupiter is So Jupiter is in the Lagna of Sun, Uttara Palguni, yeah. So it's the second house lord, yeah. Lord of the second house. Jupiter is in the 3rd house, yeah. And Sun, where Sun is in the nakshatra of Saturn, Uttara Bhadra Pada, yeah, Sun is there. The 7th and 8th lord, yeah, Sun. In the 5th house. So basically we're talking about Saturn sitting in the 5th house, aspecting the 2nd house. Yeah? So that's Saturn's 2nd aspect falling there, yes. Yeah, Saturn's 2nd aspect falling there. Yeah, 10. Yeah. And 10th Lord Mars. Mars is the 10th Lord. Yeah. 10th Lord Mars is in Taurus, yeah, Taurus having the 4th aspect on the second house here. Yeah. So 10th house again, you'll see this connection, yeah, okay. So 10th house lord there, Mars, yeah, sitting in the 11th and aspecting the 2nd house, yeah, aspecting the 2nd house. So again you'll see a 10-2 connection. Yeah, okay. We can also look at it from Dasa Lagna. Yeah, we take Dasa Lagna, Jupiter. We take Dasa Lagna. Second house lord is Venus. Venus, yeah. Venus is exalted in the 9th house here, yeah, and is co-joined with the Antardasa Lord, yeah, Antardasa Lord there, yeah. 10th Lord is, so from here, Dasa Lagna, 10th house Lord is Mercury, and it's again co-joined, yeah. So again, you see 2, this is 10 and 2, yeah, 10-2 connection if you take the Dasa Lagna, yeah. So if we go here, the D9, you see that there is a Mercury there, there is a Venus there which is debilitated, but it's actually Nicha Banga, yeah, it's actually Nicha Banga, there's a cancellation there. In fact, it's in a Kendra, so there'll be there's actually Raja Yoga, yeah, okay. And then you see a strong moon, strong Mars in own sign, moon in own sign, Saturn in own sign, although Jupiter is debilitated, but it's a Nicha Banga because it's sitting with the house lord there, yeah, right? Okay. So essentially, see why I'm going through the D9 also is that D9 is also equally important. I think a lot of us just completely tend to ignore D9, yeah. So we want to see the strength of the planets here by looking at D9, yeah. Okay. So you don't really need to look at aspects. Basically, you're judging strength of planets in D9, yeah, right? Okay. Looking out for anything that's got Gautama, that sort of thing, which adds to that. Well, so it's going to be nearly an hour and I'm just at 50%. Yeah, okay. So I'm taking up Master Rajeswaran's slot. Okay, let's go to chart 6. Yeah, let's go to chart 6. Okay, chart 6 is a lady. Someone called Susanna Palazuelo, yeah, Palazuelos, Mexican, yeah. So this is a Mexican chef. She's an author of cookbooks, a wedding organizer. She's opened like an iconic restaurant with her own name, yeah, in her native Acapulco, yeah. And she did it in 1977. Sorry, these are all like pretty old. I don't know if she's still around. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so basically, let's look at her chart. Yeah, let's look at her chart. Yeah, houses. So where's the Lagna? Lagna is there. Yeah, basically Lagna is there. And if you look at houses 7 to 12, 7 to 12. So that's 7. Yeah, 7 to 12. That will add strength to the 10th house, yeah, that will add strength. So 7 to 12, she's got 2, 4, 6. Yeah. 2, 4, 6, yeah. 6 planets there, 7 to 12, yeah. Sitting 2, 4, 6, yeah. You know, I wrote 7. Okay. And she's got a very, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, 7 to 12, she's got 6 planets, yeah. And 10, let's look at 10 to 3, yeah. 10 to 3, yeah. That's 10 there. 10 to 3 goes up to there, yeah. Yeah, she's got 6, I thought, yeah, 7, 2, 4, 6, and 7.
7.
She's got 7 planets, yeah. Between 10 to 3, she's got 7 planets. So it just goes to show how strong in the chart, yeah, how strong the Lagna is and how strong the 10th house is. And then if we actually go to the 10th house, she's got a beautiful Gajakeshari Yoga here. Got a beautiful Gajakeshari Yoga, and it is sitting with the Lagna Lord. Very important. Whenever Gajakeshari Yoga involves the Lagna Lord, yeah, Jupiter is the Lagna Lord, it becomes a very personal sort of thing, makes this Gajakeshari Yoga even more powerful. Yeah, alright? Okay. So you can just see how powerful. And again, you'll see the Dana Yoga connection. Yeah, for her. She's got here 9, 5, yeah, Sun is the 9th lord, yeah, Mercury is the 5th lord connection there, yeah, okay, and then 2, 11, 2, 11, Venus is the 11th lord, yeah, 11th house lord, Venus sitting in the 2nd house, yeah, and Saturn is aspecting, yeah, Saturn is, just aspecting Lagna, Saturn is aspecting Lagna, Mercury the 10th lord, yeah, alright. Okay, so basically there's a lot of strength. There's a lot of strength in a planet. Yeah, even if you go to the Navamsa, there is also strength there in the Navamsa. Yeah. Although it's a debilitated Venus, but there's a Nicha Bhanga there. Yeah, Nicha Bhanga there. Yeah. Saturn is strong, sitting own house. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Strangely, you will also see the 2-10 combination here. So Jupiter here, for this Lagna, Gemini Lagna, yeah, Jupiter is the 7th lord and the 10th, Jupiter is the 7th lord and the 10th lord, aspecting the 2nd house. Yeah. So again, you see a repetition. Whenever you see this sort of repetitions taking place, yeah, I mean, in the divisional charts, it just adds more strength, yeah, adds more strength. The divisional charts become very, very important, provided date of birth is correct, yeah. Okay. All right. So essentially, she's got very good position, very good planetary position. 2nd house lord is strong. See, the static potential is this. Her 2nd house lord, Saturn, is sitting in the 7th, aspecting that, and aspecting the 4th house, yeah, aspecting the 9th house. Strong Saturn, Navamsa, strong Saturn. So the 2nd house is strong, yeah, okay. 2nd house is strong. Alright, no doubt it's in a Rahu Ketu axis, but a benefic Mercury is looking at the 2nd house, okay, alright, looking at Saturn, okay. And then if you also look at 10th house is also strong, Mercury there. Mercury is sitting in the Lagna. Mercury has got directional strength, yeah. Mercury in the 1st house gives it directional strength, yeah, okay, alright. So again, strength, yeah. So the static potential in all these charts is that 2nd house lord, house is strong, 10th house lord and house are strong, yeah. So that's the basic basis, yeah, of many of these, of the promise, yeah, that then gets fructified during the Dasa period. So let's look at the Dasa period, yeah. She ran Jupiter Venus, yeah. Jupiter Venus, she opened the restaurant in Jupiter Venus, yeah. So she opened the restaurant in 1977, so that's Jupiter there. 1967 to 83, Venus period was there. 1977 was there. Okay. All right. So okay, let's quickly look at Venus. Venus is in the 2nd house. Yeah, Venus in the 2nd house in Capricorn, and it's the 2nd lord from Jupiter, yeah, from Jupiter, because Dasa Lagna, yeah, Dasa Lagna, from Dasa Lagna, Venus is the 2nd house lord, yeah, okay. Saturn, yeah, so Saturn is the 2nd lord, yeah, sitting in Gemini, yeah, and aspecting the 10th lord. So you can see again, there's this connection here. Saturn aspecting the 10th lord. Yeah, all right. So this Saturn is very strong. He's got directional strength, yeah, in Gemini. And then if you go to the D9, Saturn is sitting together with Venus in D9, in its own house. So again, you see the 2-10 connection everywhere, yeah, you can see 2-10 connection everywhere, yeah, okay, alright. So we will quickly go into chart 7. Sorry, Master Rajeswaran, I'm taking your time. So let's go into chart 7. So this is another French guy called Bernard Macau. Yeah, I don't know if pronunciation is right or not. But okay, let's quickly look at his chart. Yeah, basically what he is, he's a French chef and restaurateur. Yeah. Since 1986, he's got 3 Michelin stars. Yeah. All right. All his restaurants are based in France. Yeah. So it must be pretty good. Yeah, it must be pretty good if you've got 3 Michelin stars. And of course, doesn't compare with Gordon Ramsay, but still, you know, I mean, not many of these guys here have got Michelin stars. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, so let's look at when he opened the restaurant. Okay, so basically you'll see that, let's look at the chart here. Yeah, okay. So 10 to 3, 10 to 3, yeah, there, 10 to 3, you see 2, 4, 5, 7 planets there. So this Lagna here has got the support of 7 planets, yeah, yeah, between 10 and 3, yeah, okay. So adds so much of strength to this Lagna. No doubt it's a debilitated Venus, but there's cancellation, yeah, there's cancellation, and there's also Raja Yoga there, yeah, Vichamanga Raja Yoga, okay, all right. So yeah, actually, I mean, I don't know how many of you know, but there are so many cases where a debilitated planet eventually ends up to be even much more stronger than an exalted planet. Yeah, debilitation gives you that debilitation. You will suffer first. After that, you will always come up. Yeah, so that especially when there's a nature banga. Yeah, right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I've seen so many charts with debilitation, and then in later life, you know, it gives them tremendous success, even better than what exalted planets can give. Okay. So we shouldn't look down upon debilitated planets. Yeah. Okay. So okay, so he opened his restaurant, first restaurant in 1981. Yeah. 1981 in the Mercury Rahu period. So it was here. He opened his restaurant, Mahadasa Mercury. And Rahu would have been there. So 1981 would fall there. Yeah, okay. So let's look at his chart. So you can see that Mercury is in the 2nd house. And it's also the 10th lord. So again, you can see a 2-10 connection there. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. So it was Mercury, Rahu. So Rahu is seated there, yeah. Rahu is seated there. Rahu is, although it will give the results of Venus, but it's also associated with Jupiter because it's got Jupiter's aspect. Yeah. So Jupiter is the 3rd house lord. So Rahu will give the results of Jupiter, who is sitting in the 3rd house. Yeah, like you said, we need strong 3rd house. Yeah, okay, all right. And Venus, so he will also give the results of Venus, who is the 2nd house lord also. Okay. So if we look at from moon Lagna, Chandra Lagna, yeah, what do we see? Yeah, what do we see? We see that Jupiter is Paurnami Yoga. Sorry? Paurnami Yoga. Oh.
Moon
Yeah, I'm
and
not sure.
sun.
Oh, okay.
Paurnami.
I mean, it's a full moon, basically. It's a full moon. Yeah, okay. All right. So basically, what do we see here? Yeah, okay. So it's, sorry, my train of thought has, sorry, okay. So basically, what do we see here from here? Yeah, we see that from moon Lagna, Chandra Lagna, we see that Jupiter is seated in the Jupiter is the second lord. Okay, all right, maybe let's skip that because basically I'm fighting for time. Yeah, but essentially you can see. I mean, if I didn't take Chandra Lagna from Janma Lagna itself, you can see the 210 connection. Okay, so let's not go into Chandra Lagna, but let's go into D9, and you can see how strong this Jupiter is. Yeah, okay, it's a exalted Jupiter. You've got a moon in its own house. Yeah, and there's a Gajakeshari yoga that's forming here in the D9, yeah, okay? Because Saturn sitting in its own house, we've got Sun exalted, very strong, very, very strong. Okay, all right. I think you will also see again in the D9 also you can see like a 210 connection, yeah, okay, all right? Because you've got Sun there, Saturn. Okay, so yeah, so basically you've got Mars sitting in the second house. Mars is the 5th and the 10th house lord. You're sitting in the second house. So again, you have a 210 connection. So again, you'll continue to see these repetitions, and making this 210 connection very strong. Yeah, okay. So maybe if we went into other subdivision charts, you might see, like say Dasamsa and all, you might see the gain happening. Yeah. Okay, let's look at chart 8. Okay, so you've got someone called, Lagna is here, so that's not correct, I think, yeah. So Lagna is here, it's in Libra, yeah, okay, Lagna is in Libra. So who is this guy? Pierre Gagueri, yeah, sorry, pronunciation to be out, yeah, okay. So he's the head chef of his restaurant, yeah. Opened in his own name, yeah. Yeah. He's in the forefront of fusion cuisine in France. Yeah, basically it's again French guy, French restaurant. Yeah, very successful. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's have a quick look at his chart. Again, you'll see a lot of repetitions taking place. Yeah, you can see that the 8th chart. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Here you won't see that conglomeration between for the Lagna and the 10th house, because between 10 and 3 he's only got 3 planets, and then between 7 and 12 he's got just 4 planets. Okay, so it's not really working in his chart. Yeah, but again you can see second house lord Mars. Yeah, second house lord. Okay, second house from moon. I think this one here we have to see from moon. Okay, all right. Second house from moon. Yeah, okay, Jupiter. Second house from moon. You see 2 benefic planets. Yeah, 2 benefic planets. The lord of the second house is Saturn, being aspected by 2 benefics. I don't know how many of you know that Jupiter in Kumbha Rasi becomes very strong. Yeah, I mean, you go and read the books of K.N. Rao, you'll find that he tells you that how strong, it's almost like an exaltation. Jupiter sitting here. Yeah, so you've got 2 benefits aspecting the second house lord. Yeah, all right. Okay, so that gives a lot of strength to the second house lord. Yeah, okay, all right. And then Jupiter himself is the 3rd house lord, also very strong, sitting with a benefic. Yeah, always when the benefics together, they add a lot of strength. Of course, Saturn is aspecting his own house. Yeah. Okay. So again, like I said before, the impact could be elsewhere. Could be in the Jiva Karakas. The personalities involved could be impacted. Maybe a wife or children could have some impact because of Saturn. But as far as the non-Jiva part of it, he will enjoy those benefits there. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we are looking, and then of course Venus from Moon. Venus is also the 10th house lord. So again we see Venus sitting in the second house, being the 10th house lord again. So again 210 connection. So we go to D9. We can see D9 as sorry, looking at the wrong chart. Yeah, you see an exalted Saturn, who is the second house lord then, exalted Saturn. Yeah, okay, all right. who is also the lord of the house there. Yeah, all right, okay. So I think we can also see some sort of a 2-9 connection here also in D9. Yeah, second lord Saturn, ninth house. Second lord from moon. Okay, let's so second lord. Okay, again I'm taking moon here. Yeah, so second lord from moon here is exalted there. Yeah, all right. Okay. So essentially, this is what this is what I'm saying now. Yeah, okay. Strength of the lords matter a lot. Yeah. Okay, maybe from Jupiter Lagna also you can see Jupiter is the Lagna lord. Second house lord is Jupiter. Yeah. And the 10th house lord is Mercury. Yeah. 10th house lord is Mercury. Yeah. Sitting and aspecting the second house. Yeah. Aspecting the second house. Can you see Mercury aspecting the second house? I think not. I don't know why I put Mercury aspecting the second house. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm trying to look at it from all the different Lagnas. Yeah, okay. Although Drew in his book just talked about uh, Janma Lagna and the Moon Lagna. Okay. So I thought I could even look at it from the Dasa Lagna. Okay. But it doesn't matter. But the point is this, that second house, 10th house connection is again there. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's look at just another 2 more charts. Yeah. So this is a guy called Mark Durapex. Yeah, Mark Durapex. Again, French chef and restaurant owner. Awarded 3 Michelin stars in 1986, 87, and 1995. All this data comes from Wikipedia. Yeah, okay. So he opened his first restaurant in 1985. Yeah. So let's look at his chart. Okay. Let's look at. Okay. Do we see a conglomeration? Yeah. 7 to 12. You look at 7 to 12. Yeah. 7 to 12. So 7 up to 12. Yeah. So giving strength to the Lagna. Yeah. We've got 2, 4, 6 planets there sitting, giving strength to the Lagna. No, like I said, there's a sort of a friendship between all these planets, giving strength to the 10th, making this person a very independent thinker who is able to take a lot of decisions. Yeah, and face whatever competition that he has to face. Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah, so let's look at the time when he opened the restaurant, 1985, which was in Venus, Jupiter. Sorry, I have to go back there. That's strange. Okay, I don't know why it's got it here. 1985 would be there. Jupiter Mahadasa, or is it? I think it could be Jupiter Venus. Let's try Jupiter Venus. Jupiter and Venus. Yeah. So it's actually Jupiter Venus. Sorry. Yeah. So it's actually Jupiter Venus. Yeah. Jupiter Venus, 1985. So he opened his restaurant somewhere there. Yeah. Somewhere there. Yeah. So from Lagna, let's look at it from Lagna. Venus is second lord. Yeah. Venus is second lord. Exalted second lord. Yeah. Okay. Sitting in the 7th house. And 10th house lord is Mercury. Yeah. 10th house lord Mercury, sitting in the 9th house in the Venus sign. Yeah. Sitting in the Venus sign. So again, you'll see some sort of a, not really like a, may not be a direct connection, but he's sitting in the house of Venus. Yeah, alright, okay. So if you quickly go to Dasa Lagna, you can see that from Dasa Lagna, exalted Venus, yeah. So exalted Venus is the third lord, third house lord from Venus is the third. So giving strength. So what I said earlier, we need a strong third house. So it's exalted there. Second house lord is Mars. Yeah, Mars. So from Venus that's 7. Oh, 7. So Venus, so exalted. So second house lord is Mars. Second house lord is Mars, and Mars is Mars. And what's happening with Mars? Mars is aspecting. Second house lord is aspecting Venus. Second house lord is with Saturn. Sorry. So 10th house from here. 10th house lord is Jupiter aspecting. So second house lord. So if I said Venus Lagna, second house lord is Mars aspecting 10th house lord Jupiter. So again, if I took Dasa Lagna, you will see connection there. I can go on and do Moon Lagna as well, but let's not go there. I mean, fighting for time. And then of course we've got Venus, strong Venus. Look at that, Venus sitting in its own house in D9. Yeah, okay. And more importantly, you've got a Vargotama ascendant, adding strength to the Lagna. So yeah, okay. Okay, so that's that, and then last chart. It is so basically you can see the takeaway. Yeah, what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, I mean, anybody interested in opening FMD, fitness, or whatever, second lord has to be strong. 10th house lord has to be strong. Yeah, okay. So this is a guy called Guy Savoy, French also. He is the guru of Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, alright, okay. He himself has got many restaurants. He's a French chef. Yeah, owner of a number of restaurants. Owner of a restaurant in his own name. Yeah, in both in Paris and in Las Vegas. He's got multiple Michelin stars. Yeah, this guy's got multiple Michelin stars. Okay. So quickly look at his chart. What do we see? What do we see in his chart? 7 to 12. 7 to 12. There, 7 to 12. So 7 is there to 12 there. You can see you could become a sannyasi. He's got 4 planets there, sitting there. 4, 5, 6 planets, 7 to 12. Adding strength to the 10th house. Yeah, adding strength to the 10th house. Okay. So I'll probably have to rush through here. So he opened his restaurant in. So there are all the other yogas there. You can actually see the done yogas. So all the connection between 2, 11, 9, and 5 is there. He's got strong third house lord Jupiter there, strong third house, sitting with a benefic. Whenever planets sit with other benefics, gives them tremendous strength. And this Venus is sitting in its own house. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Done yoga. 2, 11, 9, 5 connection is there. Yeah. Okay, and then you have got this connection also. Remember I said the Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu connection to the Lagna. You've got Sun and Mars and Rahu all connecting to the Lagna. Again adding to his very independent mindset in his competitive attitude. Yeah. Okay. Right. So quickly, he opened his restaurant in first restaurant 1977, which was in the Moon Rahu period. 1977 falls there, yeah, and Rahu 77 falls there, yeah. Okay, so okay, so yeah, so basically this Saturn here will give the results of this Rahu here will give the results of Saturn, because like I said, Rahu doesn't own any house, so he'll give the results of the planets that he's associated with, I mean these aspects, and of course the house where he's seated. So again, there's a second house connection with Rahu there. Yeah, okay. So Saturn is the second lord from Lagna, and also from Moon also. Saturn is the second lord. Yeah, Saturn is second and third lord from Moon. So again, there's that strength for Saturn. And how strong is Saturn? Saturn is seated there. Saturn is seated in the 9th house here. very nicely. Saturn aspecting the 11th house, and this Saturn is a Vargotama Saturn, so it's a very strong Saturn. Yeah. So essentially, I think you all get the picture. So basically, the takeaway is this: that there has to be some sort of a 210 connection. House Lord, yeah, either from Janma Lagna, Moon Lagna, or Dasa Lagna, yeah. And clearly, when there's a lot of repetition, and you can see the repetitions happening in the Navamsa, yeah, the 210, it strengthens the promise, and it delivers on the promise, So basically that. So I think you all now can see the picture. I mean, if you want to advise someone, you can always say, okay, there has to be this sort of a connection. I mean, basically, like I said earlier, Master Rajeswaran, I'm taking your time, sorry. There has to be this connection, and the dasas have to run, because if the dasas don't run, then the postman hasn't delivered, wouldn't have delivered, okay, all right, okay, so thank you very much. So that's my contribution. Sorry, Master Rajeswaran, you've got about 35 minutes.
No problem. I'm very tired. I'll finish it first.
Okay. I will share. What do you want me to share? Your write-up or the charts?
Any questions can ask them?
Yeah. Any questions? Sorry. Any questions? Or you can even put it in the. I don't know. I don't think there's anyone who has put anything on the.
Mr. Chandra,
laptop. Yeah.
can you give me a temporary access to your screen? I would like to remove all the unnecessary elements on the chart. We can actually do that.
Okay. It doesn't matter when I save. I won't save with the changes. No.
No.
So you don't have to do anything.
No, I mean, if you right click on the chart, can you right click on the chart?
Yeah.
And then if you go to down there, choose.
Oh, you mean it's going to show up elsewhere? So
No, choose a view, which bodies to show, and then go to optional bodies. And there are a lot of things that are selected. Only if you keep notes of Rahu and Ketu, the other elements will not be there. No, you just have to keep Rahu and Ketu. The others you have to just untick.
Oh, okay. Oh, why?
No. You have to choose the others as untick, but never mind, you can do that later.
Yeah. Okay, let me, I think we are running short of time, so I will stop this share. And I will...
Mr. Chandra, there's one question in the chat box.
Yeah.
Murat has asked, I think she has asked, do you look into D10 chart as well for career?
You could. I mean, sorry, I'm not. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just share it. Yeah, you would. Ideally, you would. Yeah, ideally, you would. Yeah. So, okay. Sorry, this is chart 3.
I want the notes first, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can you all see?